welcome to today's class. Today I am going to explain about the mesh analysis. This is one of the techniques used for analysis of network. Before going for this method, so you must know what is mesh. A mesh is the most elementary form of a loop, and in order to find out the solution of a network, so you must be able to find out first how many mesh equation to be written for a given network. So in order to find that number of mesh equations, so this equation is used. So this equation represent, that is expression which relates the number of independent mesh equations to the number of branches and junction points of the network, and where m is nothing but denotes the number of independent mesh equations, and b denotes the number of branches, and j denotes the number of junction points, and the -1 is included because some point in the network is needed as a reference point from which voltage measurement can be made, and a junction point is chosen for this purpose. Okay, let us consider one example. This is the first example what I have considered. So this network consisting of 2 sources and 3 resistors. So you have to get the current I1 and I2. Those currents are called as mesh currents. This is only for your convenience, just I have marked the meshes like here. So before proceeding for the analysis, first you need to find out the number of mesh equation to be written for a given network. So the number of mesh equations is equal to b minus j minus 1, where b is nothing but number of branches and j is nothing but number of junctions points. So first you need to identify the number of junction points. So in the earlier class you studied what is junction. Junction is the point where the 3 or more elements are joined together. In this given network, this junction point B and the point D are called junction point because 3 elements are connected at this point. Similarly T, this element and this element and this element will be connected, but point A and C will not be called as a junction because only 2 elements are connected. So by looking to this network, you have number of junction points j is equal to 2, junction points j is equal to 2, and once you find out the junction points, you can go for number of branches. So here the junction points j is equal to, you will get 2, and the number of branches. So what is a branch? Branch is nothing but the elements connected across the or coming across the pair of junction points. So in this network you have only 2 junction points. So across these elements, that means 40 ohm and this source will be connected in series and coming across this junction point. So therefore this is one branch. Similarly 60 ohm and a 60 volt source is also connected in series and coming across this junction point. This is another branch. And next one is between the B and D, only this element is also coming across there. So therefore this is also a branch. So therefore there are 3 branches. So therefore B is equal to 3. B is equal to 3. Now once you identify the junction and the branches, you can substitute those values in this equation to get the number of mesh equations. B is equal to 3 and J is equal to 2. You will get the number of mesh equation to be written for a given network is 2. Next, once we identify the number of equation to be written, then you can go for the marking the mesh directions. So this is the first already marked in the diagram. So this is your mesh number 1. So that I can call it as a I1, because this mesh is having a source. The current delivered by the source in this path is only I1, so I can just call it as a mesh current is I1. Similarly, this mesh is also having a source. The current delivered by the source is I2, so therefore whatever the mesh current is, I can refer as a I2. The direction of meshes are either direction you can mark, any direction like, so either clockwise or anti-clockwise. But if the mesh is having a source, then you can see that the direction of a current delivered by the source will be it is convenient. Okay, so that's why I taken this will be clockwise direction. In this mesh, the source will be current is delivered in the anti-clockwise direction here, so that's why I taken in this direction. It is not necessarily this, you can also take in the opposite directions also, and you can solve those equations. Now corresponding to the mesh number 1, okay, you can write the KVL equation for this mesh. So 120, if you start from this node and also you travel this path in this direction, okay, in this direction, and you can write the KVL equation. So in the previous class you studied how to write the KVL equation. So you are going from this point, first you will get the element, that is a battery. You are going from negative to positive terminal, so that means a rise in potential or a voltage. Similarly, you are going from positive to negative terminal of the voltage drop across this resistor, so this is also fall in voltage. And similarly here also the fall in voltage, because the current is flowing from higher potential to the lower potential. So if you write the equation, KVL equation for this first mesh, so this is a rise in potential, so I can write it as plus value, that is 120, and this is a fall in potential, and this same current is flowing in 40 ohm as well as a 20 ohm. Just I'll take it together, 60 minus 60 into I1, because I1 is flowing in these two resistors. And similarly this I2 is also carries not only I1, it also carries the I2, so the direction of this I2 and I1 are the same, so therefore this is also minus 20 I2, that is equal to 0. So if you rearrange 60 I1, 20 I2, that is equal to 120, so that you can call as equation number 1. Similarly you can write the mark the that means equation for the mesh 2. For mesh 2, okay, you can start from this node or any node and on that same node while writing the mesh equation or a loop equation. So if you start from this, you can travel this mesh or a loop in this direction as per the direction of the mesh. So while traveling, you are going from negative to positive terminal, so therefore the polarity of this source is positive because rise in voltage. Here the polarity of this drop is a fall in potential, so that drop will be negative. Here also the current is in the same direction. Here this is nothing but plus and this is your minus, so therefore this 60 ohm and 20 ohm carry the I2, so therefore I take it as 60 plus 20, 80 into I2 with a negative sign, so minus 80 into I2, and this 20 ohm is also carries the I1 in the same direction as I2, so therefore minus 20 into I1, so that is equal to 0. So you can just rearrange 20 I1, 80 I2, that is equal to 60, so that you can call as a equation number 2. Now from equation number 1 and 2. So this is equation number 1, I have taken as it is, and equation number 2 I have taken here, and then you can subtract equation number 2 from 1 after multiplying with the 3. Then if you multiply with the 3, 20 into 3 60, this 60 and minus 60 I1 will be get cancelled. Then 80 into 3 240 with a negative sign, minus 240 plus 20, so you will get 220 I2 with a negative sign. And here 60 into 3 180 minus 180 plus 120, so that will be 60. Then I2 is equal to 60 divided by 220, so that value is equal to 0.2727. That is the current I2. Once you got this current I2, you can substitute that in a equation number 1. So I1 is equal to 120 minus 20 I2 divided by 60. Then if you substitute the value I of I2, then you will get the current I2, that is 1.909. So let us consider another example. So in the network shown in figure below, find the magnitude and direction of each branch current by using mesh analysis. So this is the network they are given. Okay, so I told you before going for the analysis using mesh, so first we need to identify the number of junctions. And what is junction? Junction is nothing but a point or a node at which 3 or more elements are connected together. So in this network, node B there are 3 elements, and node C you have 3 elements like are connected. Similarly, this is a common node, there are 4 elements are connected, so that means this reference is nothing but a junction, so that junction you can refer as a E junction. But the junction node A or a junction A will not be called as a junction. This node will not be called as a junction because only 2 elements are connected. Here this node is also having only 2 elements, therefore you cannot call it as a junction. So only node B, node C and this node E, this is a common, so therefore this is your node E like. So in this network the number of junction points are J is equal to 3, and once we know the junction points, then you can identify the number of branches. So what is branch? Branch is nothing but a element coming across the elements coming across the pair of junction points. So if we consider the pair of junction points, that is a BE, so these 2 elements, 1 ohm and 2 volt source, are connected in series and coming across this pair of junction. So this is one branch. And similarly between B and C pair of a junction, this is also another branch. Then B and E, this is another branch. So this is nothing but your third branch. Next, between C and E, this is another branch. So this is your fourth one. Next, between C and E, so this is your another branch. So therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So therefore number of branches in a given network is P is equal to 5. Okay. Once you identify the junction and the branches, so you can substitute in this equation, because you know this equation to find out the number of mesh equations. So B is equal to 5 and J is equal to 3. 3 minus 1 2, 5 minus 2 3. So therefore there are you need to write the 3 mesh equation. So that's why I have already marked the meshes. So it is for only your convenience. So you only can mark the direction of the meshes. So the direction what I have taken, these two are in a clockwise, this is I have taken in the, so all three are I have taken in the clockwise direction. If not necessarily clockwise, you can also take the anti-clockwise direction also. And then by once you know the number of equation to be written, then you can go for the writing the mesh equations corresponding to each mesh. So this is mesh number 1, mesh number 2 and mesh number 3. Okay, corresponding to mesh number 1. So what is the equation? So once you identify the number of mesh equations, now you can consider the first mesh. So this is the mesh number 1. So you can write the KVL equation for this mesh. Okay, so while writing the mesh equation, you can start from this node and end on the same node like. So while traveling this mesh or a loop, so you are going from my negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal, so therefore rise in the potential. Here this ohm, 1 ohm and this ohm carries the current I1, and this 1 ohm is not necessarily I1, this is also, it carries the I2, because and the direction of current in this will be opposite to that of the I1. So therefore I can write the KVL equation for this mesh. So rise in potential 2 volts, and because the current is flowing from positive to negative, so that is a fall in a potential. Okay, plus and minus like. Okay, so therefore the drop in these two resistors, -2 into I1, and drop in this due to this current I2, because the current direction is in this direction, so therefore the polarity of this one is plus minus. So therefore I can write, you are going from positive to negative, so therefore positive to negative, so therefore you can write it as plus I2. Sorry, polarity is plus and minus is there, so you are going from negative to positive, so therefore I can write it as a I2, so that is equal to 0. Now if you rearrange 2I1 minus I2, that is equal to 2. This is your mesh equation number 1. Similarly, you can write the mesh equation 2. Now if you can consider the mesh 2, the polarity for this is plus and minus. This is your plus and minus, and this is also plus and minus. So if you start from this node, and if you write the equation for this mesh, okay, so you are going from positive to negative, fall in potential. Here also positive to negative, fall in potential. Here negative to positive means rise in potential. Here positive to negative, fall in potential. So therefore the KVL equation for mesh 2 is 1 plus 2 plus 3. So minus 3 into I2, because mesh current is I2, and this 1 ohm resistor carries I1. This current is flowing from negative to positive, rise in potential, therefore you can write it as plus I1, and also this 1 ohm resistor carries the current in the opposite, that means negative to positive, rise in potential, so therefore I can write it as plus I3. That is equal to, so in the this mesh rise in potential of this source, so therefore negative to positive, so that is equal to 1. This is what the equation number, mesh equation number 2, can call it as a mesh equation number 2. can rearrange also. So I1 okay, I1 minus 3I2 plus I3 is equal to 1 like. Similarly, you can write the mesh equation for the mesh number 3. So if you consider this mesh 3, so polarity for this resistor is plus minus plus minus, this is plus minus. So you need to start from this point. I can write the KVL equation for this mesh. Okay, you have start from this node, and here the current is flowing from higher potential to lower potential, and similarly here also higher potential to the lower potential. That means fall in potential. Here also fall in potential, because we are going from positive terminal to the negative terminal of the battery. So I can write the mesh equation for the loop 3 is, so, and this resistance and this resistance carries I3, so therefore the fall in potential minus 2 into I3, 2 into I3, okay, and this carries not only I3, I2, so the current I2 flowing in this is negative to positive, therefore rise in potential. So I can write plus 1 into I2 like 1 into I2, and here the fall in potential for this source, so therefore I can write here minus 1, that is equal to 0. Now if you rearrange here I2, now if you rearrange this, I2, if you rearrange this, what you will get? You will get I2 minus 3I3, that is equal to 1. Okay, so that is how you need to write the loop equation for these two loops. So the mesh equation is minus 3I2 plus I1 plus I3, that plus 1 is equal to 0. So if you rearrange here, so this is your mesh equation number 2. Similarly, this is mesh equation number 3. So if you all these three equations, you can put it in a matrix form, you will get this matrix equation. Now once we do that, using a Cramer's rule, you can find out the I1. I1 is equal to 1 divided by delta. So this delta indicates the determinant of this matrix. Then you can take the determinant of this matrix by replacing the first column by the right hand values. So you can find out this I1, and to find I1, delta is equal to determinant of this matrix. Okay, then if you find out the determinant here, 2 minus 6 minus of minus the plus 1, and here the minus 1 is the minus of minus 1 means plus 1, minus 1 into 2, that is minus 2, so that means 2, and 0 into this, that is 0, and third element is 0, so therefore 2 into minus 6 means minus 12 plus 2, so minus 12 plus 2 means minus 10. Here we have 2, so minus 10 plus 2 is equal to minus 8. This is your determinant value. Then you can consider here I1 is equal to 1 by 8, and you take this value, that is 2 into minus 6 plus 1 minus minus of minus plus 1 minus 2 and minus of minus 1 means plus 1, so plus 0. So you will get, if you find out this value, so you will get minus 11 by minus 8, so that means 1.375 ampere you will get. Similarly, you can calculate the I2. So I2 is equal to 0.75 you will get. Similarly, I3, so that is minus 0.0125 ampere. So this I1, I2 and I3, so those are called as the mesh equations. Now let us consider another example. So in the network shown in figure, find the magnitude and direction of each branch current by using mesh analysis. Okay, so this is the given network. Okay, first step is to find out the number of junctions. How many junctions are there in this? This is one junction because 3 elements are joined. This is another junction, 3 elements are joined. So this you cannot call as a junction because only 2. Here this also cannot call as a junction because only these 2 elements are connected like. So therefore, now for the given network, number of junction points is equal to 2. And now once you find out that junction points, you can find out the number of branches. So the number of branches means the elements coming across the pair of junction point. So this is the only pair of junction point in this given network, the element coming across that. So this elements, that is 60 ohm and the source of EMF coming across the pair of junction. So this is one branch. Similarly, the 60 ohm and 65 volt, so this is another branch. Okay, and then between this and this is your another branch. So therefore 3 branches. Okay, next once you find out the number of junctions and the branches, you can find out the number of mesh equations. Number of mesh equation is given by M is equal to B minus into bracket J minus 1. So B is nothing but your 3, J is nothing but 2 minus 1, so 3 minus 1, so that means you will get 2 equation. So therefore you need to write the 2 mesh equation. Then once we identify the mesh equations, so you can go for the writing the mesh equations. So corresponding to the first loop or a mesh, okay, corresponding to the first mesh. So this is your mesh number 1. You can start from this point. So here the negative to positive means rise in potential. Then the polarity of this one is plus and minus. Here also plus and minus. So here fall in potential because current is flowing from higher to lower. Here also higher to lower. So therefore here the rise in potential, that is 120 with the positive sign. Here 40 and 60, this is 20 ohm. This is your 20 ohm resistor. So 40 plus 20, 60, it will carries I1. So therefore minus 16 to I1. And this 20 ohm resistor is also carries the current I2 in the opposite to that of the I1. So therefore current is flowing from negative to positive. So therefore a rise in potential. So therefore that's why I can write it as a 20 I2, that is equal to 0. So if you rearrange, 60 I1 minus 20 I2 is equal to 120. This you can call as equation number 1. Similarly, you can write the loop equation for the mesh 2. If you start from this, you can travel like this. Yes, so the polarity for this I2 is positive, negative. Here positive, negative. So you are traveling from positive to negative means there is a fall in potential. Here also fall in potential. Here also fall in potential. And but this 20 ohm is carries the current, not only I2, I1. The I1 is opposite. So current is flowing from negative to positive. So that means drop due to I1 in this 20 ohm is plus 20 into I1. So therefore can write here plus 20 I1 and 60 plus 20 minus 80 I2 minus 65, that is equal to 0. If you rearrange 80 I2 minus 20 I1, that is equal to minus 65. This is your equation number 2. Now you can make use of these two equations and two unknowns. You can just subtract one from the other after multiplying certain factor. So you can calculate the current I1 and I2. Now I am giving some additional problems on mesh analysis. Just you need to go through and solve yourself. Okay, along with the problem I give an answer. So you try to write the mesh equations and get the answer. If you won't get, you can contact me. And this first network, in the network shown below, find the value of current flowing through RL. So this is the value resistor RL. Is asked to find out the current through this RL. What is the current through RL? So as per this direction of meshes, so I1 and I2. So that means I1 plus I2 is nothing but current through the RL. So it will first find out the number of mesh equation to be written for this. So because here by looking to this network, these two are nothing but junctions. Okay, so number of branches are, this is one branch, this is another branch, this is another branch. So therefore there are three branches. So obviously you have to write only two mesh equations. Okay, then you will get the two mesh currents, and once you find out these two mesh currents, you can get the current through the load resistor. So that is I1 plus I2. So that values of this I1 and I2 and current through the RL is 30.48. So that is how you have to verify this answer. This is another example. Okay, additional example. The four arms of a Wheatstone bridge are AB. AB is nothing but this branch or a R, so 10 ohm, BC 3 ohm, CD 6 ohm, and DA is 12 ohm. Find the current through this 20 ohm resistor if the battery of 2 volts is connected between A and C. The battery is connected between A and C is 2 volts. Okay, so now just identify the number of junctions, number of branches, number of mesh equations. So I have already given a hint. So these are the three meshes. You must get the three mesh equations. Okay, and then you must get I1 plus I2. You have to get I1, I2 and I3. Then is asked only the current through the 20 ohm resistor. So that I1 plus I2 is nothing but 20 ohm. So that value is equal to 7.8 milliampere. So this another example. So determine the current in each branch for the given network shown in below using the mesh analysis. for this given network, so you need to identify the number of junction points and number of branches, then number of mesh equation to be written like. Okay, so how many junction points here? This is 1, because at this point 1 2 3, these 3 elements are connected. Similarly these 3 elements are connected here, and this is 1. So that means there are 3 junction points, and number of branches are between pair of junction points. This is one element, this is another element, and this is another element, that means branch, and this is another branch. 1 2 3 4 5, so therefore 5 branches. So once we know the number of junction points and the branches, you can easily find out the mesh equations. So in this you will get 3 mesh equations. So you have to write these equations and you have to get the solution for I1, I2, I3. I1 is equal to this, I2 is equal to this value, and I3 is equal to this value. Similarly, I have given one more here. Write the mesh equation and resistance matrix for the circuit shown in figure. Solve for mesh currents I1, I2 and I3. Okay, so I have already marked the mesh currents here, so that means you must get M is equal to 3. Okay, then if you write these mesh equations, you will get the I1, I2, I3. So these are the values you must get. And similarly one more, and this the last problem. Okay, write the mesh equation and resistance matrix for the circuit shown in figure. Solve mesh currents I1, I2, I3. So already I have written a mesh equation in this. Okay, so I have to get the mesh currents I1, I2, I3. So in this problem, hint is this, he has given the current source in this I2 minus I3 is equal to 2 ampere. Whenever we are solving the equation, okay, you have to make use of I2 minus I3 is nothing but 2 ampere. You have to make use while solving these equations. Okay, today I will end this class, so I will continue in the next class. So before coming to next class, so you need to solve all the problems and verify the answers. If you won't get, you can contact me, then I'll solve those problems. Okay, thank you.